Hello, welcome. This is an adult podcast, so please be assured that there will be tobacco, alcohol, drugs, and other things of an adult nature spoken on this podcast. If that disturbs you now, please leave.
Welcome, listeners. This is TR, and
JJ.
this is the Unnamed Podcast. First topic is how the internet may destroy us. JJ, what is your feelings?
Well, honestly, I think that the way that Facebook is going, the way that Twitter is showing up, the way that everything is popping up and everybody has to be in everybody's business, that it's just going to prove that everybody is going to get to the point that it's just chaos, utter, complete chaos. Everybody knows everything. There's no protection from anybody. Your private life will no longer be a private life. Everything you do is public.
Well, hold on, JJ. Hold on. I'm thinking, isn't the fact that everybody's private life, I mean, not just a private life, but the postings that are on Facebook and Twitter and all the other ones that I don't actually use, isn't this actually helpful when it comes to, let's say, the police brutality in the world and the animal cruelties and the child abuse and stuff? Isn't this helpful in the world?
Oh, by all means. I understand what you're saying. Yes, this gives us a medium to put out a whole bunch of stuff that if you look at the internet as a way to improve, yes, it's done. But because of all of these sites like Facebook, because you're posting these videos and everything, they've taken license to everything that you put up on that to give to your government.
Yes, I understand the fact that it does have some kind of governmental awareness, I guess you'd say. Well, hell, anything we do, the government is aware of, which that is a whole other topic. We're not going to get into this in this subject. This is our first podcast. We're not getting into that deep. All right. What we're talking about now is the Facebook and the internet and how it'll destroy us. And I don't see that the internet will destroy us. I think that the internet will actually bring us together because we do have social internet. Social media, we do have things that everybody can see and everybody brings together, and they can comment on and they can follow along with, and that all of us can actually relate with. And I mean, what are we going to do if we don't have all the information put in front of us? We can't come in and rise against our government if they're doing wrong if we don't have the information in front of us, can we? I mean, we can't come and say that the cops are doing wrong if we don't have the information put in front of us, which we do now, don't we?
Yeah, I'm not trying to say that the internet as a singularity is evil. It can be used for evil purposes, but the technology itself, no, I don't think it's evil. But the way that we're using it, the way that we're structuring it, the way that we are trying to control this thing called the internet, I think it might lead to an overall dominance over everything and possibly be our destruction.
Well, see, the internet has been around for the last, 15 years, 20 years, around in this era. Basically, the internet became a information source, and now it is a everybody bitch source. I mean, I agree with you that the internet has become the place where everybody can come and just share their whiny, bitchy crap to everybody else, which is, that is the downfall. Yes, it is. But also the fact that the internet is also a information source to where we actually can get the first-hand information before terror strikes.
You say that you're getting it firsthand, but at the same time, all of this is being controlled. I mean, it may not seem that way. Yes, we do live in America, and there's a lot more freedom with our internet than most people. I mean, you take a look at the other countries, though, with their internet, and I realize we don't want to go too deep into the topic, but the government has put such a ban on the internet. It's controlling what you get to see. It blocks sight. I mean, here in America, you can't go onto a North Korean site. Same with North Korea. You can't go onto anything that's a non-Korean site. So obviously, there's a lot of control already being put into this.
And I do see this. I am not as informed as my co-anchor here into what other nations can and cannot do with comes to the internet. I do not know if we can see North Korea and if they can see us. This is actually new knowledge for myself. But hold on. It is my turn with my microphone. My debacle here is the fact that I don't think that we are actually doing wrong with posting information that could be helpful to the American or to the world public if putting information on the internet that could be helpful.
Okay, so yeah, if say from here we had a police brutality, going back to this,
we have very many police brutalities.
Well, let's look at that though. If say from Philadelphia there is major police brutality, it is a great way for the nation to know that there is a great amount of police brutality.
And that is what's
However, if you and I want to go back real quick because you said you didn't realize that there are some things that you can and can't see. You can see this simply enough by going to the BBC.com. It's a British site. If you try and watch a video here in America, it says you are in the wrong area. You cannot watch this video because it's under rights for Europe. So if you keep going with this, say it's terrorism it say there's like the revolution in Libya.
I don't think we're supposed to say terrorism on the podcast.
Well, you can, but say the revolution in Libya. How are they supposed to get us the information if everything that they put on the internet is controlled to the point that it doesn't get out of the country? How do you control? How are we supposed to know what's going on if it's so blocked that we can't?
So JJ, then you're just saying that your own internet can destroy us is a bust because internet can save us then. If another country can put their own this is what's happening information on there and they can help us out. I mean, how is that destroying us?
Well, I'm not saying that it will lead to our destruction. I said it can cause our destruction. And it's all dependent on how we utilize this. Do we utilize it to come together and actually try and solve things? Or do we use it to become more separate, more cut off, more just about the solo instead of the community?
Okay. Actually, I agree with JJ on this one. I do believe that there is the downfall to internet, but there is also a high uprising to it as well. That yes, the internet can be our downfall, but if we utilize it correctly, and I'm hoping JJ agrees with me on this one, if we utilize it correctly, it can be a great informational source. And I hope that we can go into our next topic on this one, and keeping on the internet source. JJ, I'm going to give you over for one last statement before we go to our next segment.
I would like to say yes, I do agree with you. It can be a great potential source, but it's up to everybody. It's up to all of us to come together and realize that it's a source meant to try and get us together, not be separate. And please remember that, people.
And I mean, on this subject, it's close to it. We're going to talk about the social media of internet. It is very close to the same thing that we're talking about now, of how the internet can destroy us and how it can help us as well. Our social media on the internet is, list them off, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, MySpace, Instagram.
Insert random here.
Yeah,
So big.
there is many social medias on the internet that honestly I think we have too many. I think we have way too many. We should have stopped with MySpace and Facebook. JJ, what's your opinion?
I do agree. I feel that there's way too much of this, and this does go into a topic that we may be discussing here in a bit, but I've also feel that, like, all this social media is doing nothing but dumbfounding us, really. I mean, we've got hashtag this, hashtag that, update I'm on the shitter, update I'm cooking food. It's become a lot of bullshit on this social media instead of what it was actually trying to become.
And I agree with you on this one. I mean, there's a few times that me and JJ actually agree. This is one of those things that I think the internet has become the social media point, that is, has become just a place where people can just bitch and moan and whine and just put out everything they're doing. Like, who gives a crap if you're cutting your nails? I mean, really, nobody cares. Your best friend doesn't even give a crap. They may like it, they may post on your comments and stuff, but they actually don't give a shit. I mean, JJ, do you give a shit if I'm cutting my nails?
Honestly, I could give a shit less if you're cutting your nails, vacuuming your floor. You're doing this on your time in your house as a way of keeping sane. Why let everybody in the world?
We're in the same house.
And at that point too, yeah, we're in the same house. I see what you're doing. Why do I need to read every second of your daily life? I mean, if something profound happened, like say you were walking down the street and you met somebody that you hadn't seen in 5 years, I wouldn't mind seeing that on Facebook. I wouldn't mind seeing that, hey, look, I ran into somebody. We had this kind of a conversation. I hadn't seen this person in 5 years. Cool. But, hey, guys, I just got off the shitter again. Do I really need to know your bowel movement schedule?
No, JJ, you do not need to know. In fact, actually, I'd really rather you stop knocking on the door, because I don't want you to know my bowel schedule. All right, let's move on. And I mean, that is social media. Of course, it's done. All of us know social media is just shitty. All right, let's move on how stupid this upcoming generation has become. I mean, people, please. I see these posts on Facebook. I just watched one just the other day that irritated the flying crap out of me. This kid walks through this dollar store, destroying all of these shelves, right? He walks through, and nobody fucking stops this little asshole. He walks through and just knocking everything over, and it's all well and good. This new generation, what happened to the fact when you can spank a kid? I mean, personally, I was a kid. My parents spanked me. Hell, I took the belt when I was a kid. It made me a better fucking person. Now we have this whole don't beat your kids, child abuse thing. Dude, my belief is the fact that freaking, I don't believe you should beat your kid. No, you should not beat your kid. You could smack his ass. Fuck yeah. Teach the little bastard the actual fucking right. I watched this kid walk through the store and just destroy the entire store. He walked into the employee section and continued to destroy the store. It took, I believe it was his big brother, something like that. I don't really know. There was, it was a Facebook post. There was a couple of people that stopped him and took him outside. I'm hoping after the camera stopped that they whooped the little bastard's ass. Honestly, the new generation is all about the disrespect because they know we can't touch them. JJ, what's your opinions?
Well, before I go into my opinion, I just want to make sure. Are you saying that the reason that this generation is so slack, so weak, not really weak, if you will, but weak-minded, so easy to break down, so into everything, is the fact of the parents?
Not only the parents. No, I'm not saying just the parents. And they have, obviously, any child is going to learn off their parents, of course. My main basis is the fact that not only is the child going to learn off their parents, but the parents need to learn how to discipline their child. And if the government and if the Nancy whiny assholes of the world want to contradict the parents, then how the hell are we supposed to actually punish our children? I mean, a timeout does not work. Come on, people. Let's look at it. Put a kid in a corner. Time them out. What are they going to do right after you let them out? Oh, okay, your timeout's over. Now go destroy the fucking house like you were going to do earlier. You know, all you're doing is giving them a break. They were tired of breaking all of your shit. Now you're just giving them a break. Now let them go destroy your shit again. I mean, a smack across the face is going to stop them, isn't it?
I do agree. I do see that quite a bit of fault lies with the parents. Quite a bit of fault lies with this society as well.
Society, yes. That's what I'm saying. Society.
And that's why I asked. That's why I asked when you said it. It made me think that. So, it's not only the parents, but it's also society. They take a major role in how much they're upcoming. But at the same, I don't know. At the same time, if you look at it, society is going, hey, look, we shouldn't hit our kids like we did back then. We shouldn't hit them with sticks. We shouldn't whoop their ass. We don't need to beat them to a bloody pulp. I do realize that's where they started. That's where society started. And then we've gotten into this kid-friendly, everything has to be soft. You can't have a corner. You can't have a plug undone.
Well, okay. I'm sorry to interrupt, JJ. I really am. I'm sorry. I do. You're right. I think you're agreeing with me on most of this here, and I think this actually goes into our next subject here of the bullying that comes from internet and in schools, and personal bullying and internet bullying. This goes to the same. Is because we pamper our kids, and we tell them that freaking, just turn the other cheek, and oh my God, it's okay. No, I mean, you come to some of these bullies where the parents have given up because they cannot discipline their kids. They can't. There's no way, shape, or form to actually. I mean, personally, when I was a kid, I got bullied, but I got actual bullied. I mean, I had a dude hit me in the face while I was on roller skates. I hurt twice. He hit me and then I fell down. I was on roller skates, so what do you expect? But nowadays we have this new entity of bullying, where it's cyberbullying, it's school bullying, it's out of school bullying. These people are these children that find no cause in wrong in destroying somebody else's constitution, and they don't care if they hurt another person, and that is because we as a society stopped spanking our children. I mean, seriously, I would not be the man I am today if it wasn't for the fact that my parents spanked me. I mean, I don't know about JJ here, but I would not be the person I am today if it was not clear and, present in my mind that if you fuck up, if you disrespect someone, you get your ass beat. I mean, come on, people. Isn't that supposed to be don't disrespect people? Do not disrespect. Isn't that supposed to be something all amongst the nation? Do not disrespect people. GJ, go ahead and take over here.
Yeah, going back to where I was before you interrupted.
Sorry.
on your really nice tangent right there. Okay. But yes,
I need a drink anyway.
With all of the fluffing going on, with all of the protections that are going on, with all of this antibacterial bullshit. I mean, how's a kid supposed to gain an immunity if you keep making sure that they can't touch shit? How is a kid supposed to actually gain strength if they can't go outside? How are they expected to live a life if you keep them on a leash at 20 feet? With all of this shit that's going on, we're creating a society, and especially if you go to the schools. When I was going through school, there was a competition, a running competition, a basketball competition. There was a winner and a loser. If you came in last place, you did not get a trophy. If you came in fifth place, you also did not get a trophy. You got a position, and you got the ability to try harder. Now, with all this fluff that's going on, every kid that participates in a run, any kid that participates in a basketball game is an automatic winner. We've created a society of winners and losers. No winners and losers. There used to be winner, you get celebrated. Loser, ya did good, but ya failed. Try harder, Johnny. But even then, we're creating this society of just anything. If you do it, you will succeed. If you put in the smallest amount of effort, you can succeed in life. Where are the values in that one, people?
JJ, I completely agree. There is no value in being accredited and awarded for doing nothing. I mean, personally, myself, I've had many jobs. I work my balls off in these jobs. And honestly, I've gotten about zero credit, which anybody that does a good job and works their balls off is never going to get credit for it, ever. I mean, you're a grunt. You're a brute force. You are the undertake. Everybody above you is going to get the credit. That's just, I'm sorry, that's how the world works. Because you work your balls off and everybody else gets the credit. And it'd be nice. It really would. It would be nice if the higher ups would go, hey, dude, this guy here, that is why we're good. This guy right here. But no. It's like, no, I commanded my team thoroughly, and they have done a fantastic job, and I do love my team, and I think that I deserve an award, and yeah. No mind to the little bastards back there that are grinding away, scrubbing the fuck out of the floors.
Doing something.
Right. Okay. Let's move on here,
Bullying,
people.
bullying.
I think we thoroughly. Do we have another discussion of bullying?
You only slightly went into it. I didn't
I'm going to give you the mic on this for bullying, and actually, I am going to pull in a guest star here. I'm sorry, JJ. I am actually going to give my boy Zsterm the mic at this point. Bullying, Zsterm. I'd like you to discuss your feelings about bullying.
There's really no reason. Oh, well, before I start this, I probably should say I'm Zsterm, of course, as he said. I don't know. I got my opinions and shit. They're a little bit weird, but
What's your opinion about bullying, my friend?
bullying is unnecessary in any sort of situation. And I understand that in some sort of non-human animal world, bullying is some sort of way to establish some sort of dominance over another one. But that is also some sort of survival in a natural state. With some sort of human brain, such as every single human being seems to have. I don't know. I question myself half the time. But in any way, bullying is an unnecessary treatment. There should be no reason for bullying in any sort of situation, whether it become physical or verbal. Words hurt just as much as physical violence, but there's really no reason to have that shit happen. There we go.
And going on from it, we have bullying in schools, and we've all grown up with bullying. We kind of understand that there's going to be bullying. I mean, even from the shortest aspect of elementary school, the bigger kids like to poke at the smaller kids, and when you go into high school, it's all about jocks, cheerleaders, this group, that group, and the bullying does kind of it kind of picks on you. But there was older bullying. There was old generation bullying, which was I'm having problems at home, and this is kind of my way of coming out. Today's bullying, however, is not the I'm coming out with a problem. It's the I think you're less of a human than me, which is where Stern's coming from. The whole, if you view somebody as less than you, if you view somebody as inferior to you, then the bullying is just gonna come out. You start picking on them for this, you start picking on them for that. But what would happen if you switched places? What if it was you on the receiving end of that? Maybe you have been, which is why you're doing it to somebody else. But think your side. If little Johnny came to you and started hitting on you, or if Susie went online and started talking about how you're a cunt, you're worthless, you're a piece of shit, slut, you can't do this. How do you think that would make you feel? Wouldn't you feel degraded? Wouldn't you want to get away from all of that?
JJ, I completely agree. Bullying is just, I think Sturm said it best, it's just unnecessary. No matter where it comes from, it is unnecessary. And I do believe you struck a point there, is because there's a lot of reasons why they make excuses. And the biggest excuse has always been because they're family. They've always had the beating up, the bullying at home. So they've got to unleash that on the younger. And I mean that is just, you know what? If you have the bullying at home, why wouldn't you just turn that into kindness to others? I mean, do right to others because you're being done wrong. And see, the others are the ones you do kindness to are going to take care of you. JJ, for one last spout here before we move on.
Actually, I was wanting to pose the two of you a question real quick before anything else. Do you find that there is a difference between this new generation's bullying and the bullying that we grew up with?
Personally, yes. There's a giant differentiation between this day's generation of bullying and mine. Like I said earlier, my bully for that matter, tracked me down while I was on roller skates, pinned me against a fence, and socked me in the face. So, and now's generation it's cyberbullying. It's making people feel like they're, it's more like JJ says, more psychological. It's more of the cyberbullying and more of the mind games. Zsterm, what do you think?
I would definitely agree with that one. It has definitely gone into more of that cyberbullying situation, especially with much of the younger generation, just because anymore now, one kid lays a finger on another kid at school, and that school not only has a lawsuit, that whole school district has a lawsuit, that whole town is in upheaval because one kid accidentally, laid a finger on another person's kid at school in the wrong situation. That's fucked up. I would have to say that the situation of bullying is not just limited to the kids in school and on cyber, the interwebs, whatever. It has also permeated into the fucking job force and in other situations. We have fucking politicians out there, which of course is an easy scapegoat to go to, but first one that pops into mind. They're just bullying all of us people who don't have a fucking say and can't get our voices heard. We're being bullied by our fucking government. People in the job force are being bullied by their competition or what they'd like to think is their competition, but really, in this day and age, if it can make the company look better, it doesn't matter whether somebody has a fucking work ethic. As long as they can make the company look a little bit better in their production, it doesn't matter. People are being bullied everywhere. Doesn't matter.
Zsterm, we appreciate your input, and I highly agree. I highly agree with you. JJ, for your last opinions here, we need to move on to a new subject here. Go ahead with your last opinion.
All right, as far as last opinions go, yes, yeah. The bullying within the corporations and the corporation image specifically is getting outrageous. They're putting anybody down or anything down that they can to make themselves look like the greater, better, shiny, happy people. And all right, I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's switch to the next topic.
All right, people. I am sorry. Yes, let's switch to the next topic. It is really hard to go from bullying to video games, but sorry, losing a voice here for a minute. Actually, it's not too hard because there is bullying in video games.
Talking about it.
I think we're going to get into that subject a little bit later in the session here. For now, we're going to get into video games. And JJ, what is your thoughts on your video games here?
Well, when I wrote it down for us to talk about, yes, we do have a list here. When I wrote it down, I was thinking maybe just talking about games that were coming up, things that were in games. But honestly, what I wanted to talk about now that I'm thinking about it is with all the games and everything, let's tie it in a bit. How do you feel with the video games today and everybody going after them with violence, with nudity, with cigarettes, with drugs? What's your opinion on society's view of video games?
All right. TR is going to take the mic here for a second, and I'm just going to say the idealistic of the nudity and drug references, the cigarettes and such like this. I think it's more of an adult games, of course. Things that is coming out should not come out without a label, and they do. They come out with a label of, age appropriate. This is not supposed to be, looked upon as anything younger. But the problem is, it is given to those 13-year-olds, the 14-year-olds, 16-year-olds that look upon the sex appeal of. Let's look at past games of what was the one game?
Let's go on Mortal Kombat for right now. Mortal Kombat was the biggest push for ratings on games because of the violence and the blood and the gore. Let's start with that one.
All right, well, off of the sex appeal, I'm gonna go with Mortal Kombat. Yes, the violency, the Mortal Kombat. Yes, and the sexuality. Thank you, JJ, out of the kitchen making a drink. The Mortal Kombat has always, from number 1 to number what is it on 15 now? Has always had not only the beaten down violence and superb skill, not to mention thunderbolts and firebolts and everything such as this, but also had the sex appeal. Had a Sonya, Katana, oh, good God, I can't name them all. I have two of them to reference. I don't remember them all. Anyways, Zsterm, come on.
I'm not a big Mortal Kombat fan. This is me. I'm more of a solo gamer, so I got that kind of opinion coming at you in a bit.
But what about the
Either way, even Sidel was the bigger woman, the plush woman that had the skimpy outfit. I mean, all of them had skimpy outfits and had the power attacks and had the guys all about, big booby girl with weapons. They were always hot. I mean, guys, come on. You know it. We know it. We all know it. They were always hot. I mean, that transferred into... you got Street Fighter, you got Soul Calibur, you got
fighting games?
Yeah, all the basic fighting games. But I mean, Street Fighter only had a couple of girls. They had only a couple hot little girls, and mainly the Chinese. Am I saying that correctly? I'm sorry.
Can I stop you?
Asian girls in schoolgirl outfits. Soul Calibur had more of the debacle of girls in skimpy outfits and stuff. And hey, don't rush me along, JJ. I'm imagining girls right now in skimpy outfits. All right. I'm gonna give it over to JJ.
All right, now that I've got you off your little tangent of hot girls in video games,
You brought up the hot girls in video games, all right?
I did, but the point of the question was not whether they were in the games, because yes, they're in the games. It's the ratings on it. Do you feel that these like on Mortal Kombat, it says you should be mature, rated M for mature. So it's basically saying that, do you feel that the rating place that is in store right now is effective? Is it keeping these out of mature hands, or should this even be a rated mature type stuff?
No, I do not believe the things that are in the stores now. No, I do not believe it's keeping out of the young childhood hands. No, I do not believe that. Sure, I'm going to turn it over to you. You look at the video games that are coming out now. What is your opinion about what is in stores now? Is it keeping out of childhood hands?
Content matching the rating.
Yeah, is the content matching the rating?
I'd have to say from the first, earlier times with when the ratings were still up in question, like especially I remember one of the biggest ones for me was the Grand Theft Auto, video games, which was a big push. They just because everybody was aware of San Andreas, the hot coffee mod. That was one of the first that I remembered where they actually had to change the rating for the original version from mature to AO, which was adults only, and that's if they could get their hands on the older copy and change that. I'm
sorry if I can interject. You're talking about Grand Theft Auto. You're talking AO is with San Andreas and such. What about Grand Theft Auto 5 now? It's not AO. It's everybody playing.
Well, no, it's not AO. It's still a mature rating, but that's still with after the change into that next gen video gaming where they had the ability to make these games more realistic. But what I feel is that this rating system isn't necessarily keeping these video games from the crowd that they're not meant for. It's just the rating has become a lot more strict on certain video games. But with the evolution of these ratings, this evolution has happened with the original gamers, people who had started out with this, like kids who grew up with the original Atari, the original Nintendo Entertainment System, or forever where there was no rating. Yeah, there was no rating on that. But these are people who grew up with video games and are they themselves having children now and understanding what happened, what they're subject to. So the rating system has definitely evolved along with some of the very first video game players, and these are some of the people who are leading to this. So, of course, they're going to have a bigger say in it. Whether or not it's keeping the content out of these children's hands or, being appropriate, there's still a bit of evolution that has to go on with these. But I feel as though they're getting better as they go along, but they still need work.
Very, very good points. Very good points. And I just want to my opinion, because I know I threw it out to you guys. Sorry, I stutter a lot, but it's me collecting my thoughts. Okay, I know I put this out to you guys, so here's my opinion on it. I feel that because of the rating systems make parents think that these are horrid games. Unless you have a gamer in your family, really, you don't know what's on these games. You don't know why they're putting it mature. You'd like to think you do, but honestly, if you've not played a game, you don't know why it's marked mature. And a lot of it is the reasons you don't think. It's not because of violence. It's not because of blood, but more situational anymore. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here saying that the ratings deny a possibility. It does help parents keep control, but ultimately it should be up to the parents whether your child plays a video game or not, whether it's rated M or E. If it is your child and you feel that he can play this game, then get it for him. There's nothing else to it. It's a video game. It's virtual. There's no harm being done.
And yes, I do agree with you, JJ. But I am going to say to parents, check the back of the video games that your child wants. They come up to you. I want this one. I want this one.
Yeah,
check.
Be aware.
Aware. Please look at the back of it. Please look at what it entails, gore and violence and such. If you don't want your child being within the gore and violence and such, don't get the video game for them. I mean, give them an excuse. I don't care. Whatever. Don't give it to them if you don't want to give it to them. I'm going to turn this over to Zsterm one more time, right before we change our aspect one more. Hold on.
And I will agree with that one. Don't give your kids video games after you check the back and you don't agree with it. But in this day and age of technology, you can still find you can come across full hour-length videos of people playing these video games. You can watch the trailers. You can read reviews. You can do anything with this fucking internet these days. And to say that you bought your child a video game with no prior knowledge of what the content was, that is just an excuse for laziness. You have all these tools at your disposal to actually check the actual content of these video games. And if you choose not to before giving that game or video to your child, and then it comes back to haunt you, or it comes back saying, oh, this is really violent, and then you get concerned after the fact, just remember, hey, I had the opportunity to look this up. I had the opportunity to actually delve into what this game is about, but I chose not to. For whatever reason, I understand parents are busy, but if you are not concerned enough to take the time to check the actual content before you give these things to your children, maybe you shouldn't have had the kids in the first place. Be aware.
Little in depth there. Zsterm is always our go-to man for going all the way. We love Zsterm. We really do. We love Zsterm for going all the way.
I got shit to say, and I'm sorry if I offend you, but I'm not out to offend anybody. I'm just out there to tell you how my opinion works, and I go a little too far sometimes, but no change has been made without somebody going too far.
Yeah, at least he didn't go racist on this one.
I've been known to do that.
And he really has. Yeah, we love Zsterm for this. Our next subject, I hate to change and hip hop around everything, but our next subject is everybody's favorite. It's going to be to weed, marijuana, or ganja, however you want to say it. Let's take a JJ smoke.
Oh, fuck yes.
All right. JJ has thoroughly gotten his smoke in. JJ, what is your opinions about weed?
As we know, and this is just to put this out there, weed is legal, recreationally wise,
It is, my friend.
in Colorado and Washington.
Yes.
And Alaska, too, right?
No, Alaska has not passed it yet. Legally allowed for recreational use to its public is Colorado and Washington. Medically wise, we have a ton of states that have legalized medical marijuana for medical reasons, being headaches, backpache, sore feet, glaucoma.
Yeah. Plenty of reasons.
There's plenty of reasons. If you,
Let's not go into it all.
I'm just gonna say this right now. If you have a medical shop, go visit the doctor. You can get a license. All right, and then back on the topic.
My wiener has.
However, even though there are these states that are legalizing it, even though there's states that are going, there's possible stuff to this, and there's taxable stuff to this. We have to realize that the nation itself is still illegal. We've only in the last few months been able to decriminalize small amounts. I'm not even sure what this small amount is. It may be a gram, it may be 3 grams, but at the moment it's only small amounts decriminalized, which means that for most of America, for most of you guys listening, you have an illegal look at weed, and I think we have to shift our change in this view because it's a great plant. It's a great stress relief. What's your guys' view?
Personally, my view is well, number one, I love weed. I mean, I love it. I love it. All right. And I tell you, it has always been my number one go-to. He came over almost every day. Shut up. I've known him for my first almost every day to me. We scraped bowls if we were out of them. And we smoked not only weed, we smoked resin, we smoked well back then it was swag. Nowadays what you call KB is a norm. I mean, back then it wasn't a norm. Back then it was, if you got KB you were a king. Nowadays, I mean, it was amazing. And now, I mean, I love the fact that now there's just the possibility of anyone and everyone that has a problem, that is needing the sweet tincture of marijuana. Anyone that's needing to get the effect is able to get it now. They're able to go to shops. They're able to go to whomever needed and get the cure. I mean, I heard a story once before. I'm sorry, I'll wrap this up real quick. I heard a story once before of before it became illegal. A man was diagnosed with cancer. He was he was going through chemo at the time, and he was not able to eat. He was not able to sit up in his bed. He was losing all his hair. Obviously all of them do, and nothing was helping. But this man's sister brought him a brownie laced with marijuana, of course. And he ate this brownie, of course, not really able to eat much, but tried to eat something. And it got to him, of course. He gave him the munchies, like weed does, like in all of us. And it helped him because he was able to eat at that point. He was able to get nourishment down his throat. This man continued to get into more of marijuana and get better by marijuana because chemo took so much out of him and marijuana gave it back to him. I'm going to give you over to Zsterm here because I'm ushered by JJ here to get the hell.
We're running low on time.
Yeah, JJ's throwing me off the mic, so I'm going to give you over to Zsterm. Have at it.
Thoughts on marijuana?
Well, of course I love marijuana. Anybody who has tried it or who knows about it and knows of its beneficial qualities loves marijuana, or at least, will support the idea of legalization for marijuana. It is one of those fantastic plants that, of course, it requires inhalation, from initial views, but we've discovered that there are other ways to get it into your body, such as edibles, which is a fantastic way to do it because, when you're smoking it, it is hurting your lungs a bit. It is, getting to your throat. The effect is not quite as long as if you were to ingest it. The high from smoking it definitely will hit your head a little bit more at times, but when it comes down to it, the edibles are more of that slower release body effect, great for sleeping, body pain. Smoking seems to be a little bit more beneficial to your headaches and hunger issues, but if you want a good night's rest, eat a brownie, you're pretty good there. I mean, having been somebody who I have had my red card before, and anybody who lives in one of those medical marijuana approved states knows what a red card is. Before, once you got a red card, that meant bad things. After the legalization of medical marijuana, your red card was a fantastic thing. But anyway, with that, I've had my red card before. I have worked in a dispensary, and the whole myth about, kids are going to get into it, this is just a way for kids to go. No, most of the patients that came into the dispensary I worked were your older crowd, people who needed it, people recovering from cancer or dealing with cancer, depression issues, eating disorders. These were the people who were coming in. Marijuana is a beneficial plant, and to this day, there's still discoveries to be made. But how are we going to get to that point if the nation, on a federal level, is making it illegal? Once we legalize this, we can increase the profits for people, but that's not the point. The point is, get the word out about marijuana and its benefits to the nation and the world, because it's definitely a lot less harmful than your alcohol and other drugs.
All right, now we're going to turn you over to JJ. And final thoughts here, bub?
All right, because we got to wrap this up. We are taking quite a while of your time, but my opinion on weed, it cannot hurt us. You've never seen a report about how marijuana overdosed on somebody. No, you see the scare tactics from the cops going, marijuana is bad. Why? Why is it bad? Think these thoughts. Think about why they are trying to keep it from you. There are already states out there that have legalized it. Remember this. Rally behind this if you have to. There are states that have you. Just remember that there are people that will help you. We already have states that are legalizing. We just need enough people with these thoughts to come out of the woodworks, to come out into the forefront and advocate this. Your state can become legal too. Just try it. All right, so now that we're out of time, I'd like to pass it back over to TR or TY.
TR, thank you, my friend.
TR. Okay.
All right, thank you, JJ. And yes, we are out of time. I'd like to thank Zsterm for coming in, and JJ with both of my co-hosts here. They're gonna both be here. What's that? Yes, of course. Next on our show, we're going to talk about ghosts, aliens, apparitions, and so on. Yes, paranormal and such. Our next show is coming up very soon. TR is signing off. JJ, here you go.
Thank you guys for listening. We can't have this without you. This is JJ signing off.
This is Zsterm. Came into the show a little bit late, but thank you for letting me penetrate your ear holes with my words. Signing off.
All right, thank you, users, and we'll be back very soon.